Good morning, beloved brothers and sisters in Christ. This is not just another morning. This is a divine appointment. You did not wake up today by accident. You woke up because the hand of God still has purpose for your life. And this morning, as the sun rises and the world stirs to life, we are gathered here not merely to pray, but to tap into the very power of heaven that brings peace to chaos, calm to storms, and serenity to hearts overwhelmed. Let me tell you this truth: prayer changes things, not just sometimes, not just for some people, but every single time a heart turns toward heaven in true surrender. Something shifts, the atmosphere changes, mountains move, chains break. God hears, God moves. I have seen it, I have lived it, and so have many among us. There was a woman who came to this altar months ago, crushed by a storm in her marriage, abandoned, betrayed, nearly broken. She prayed through her tears, night after night, and one morning just like this, she said, "God, if you do not calm the storm around me, please calm the storm within me." And he did. Not only did peace flood her soul, but months later, her husband returned, transformed, their family restored. That is the power of a peace-giving God. There was a man who stood in this very place with a diagnosis that sounded like a death sentence. The doctors shook their heads, but he lifted his hands and dared to believe in the healing balm of Gilead. Now he stands alive, not because of what the world said, but because of the word he held on to. Jehovah Rapha moved. We do not share these stories for show. We share them because you could be next. You could be the one whose morning starts with anxiety, but ends in worship. You could be the one who enters weak, but leaves strengthened, broken but walks out blessed. God is not done with you. Your peace is not lost. Your breakthrough is not denied, it is simply delayed. And today, it might just be released. The word says in Philippians 4:6-7, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This is more than encouragement. It is a divine prescription. And this morning, we will take hold of it. You see, peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of God in the midst of them. And when you pray not as a last resort, but as your first weapon, heaven responds. So right now, I invite you to prepare your heart. Don't just listen, lean in. Don't just speak, believe. Let faith rise like the morning sun. Let your spirit awaken to the truth that your Father sees you, hears you, and is already moving in the unseen. Today, we are not just praying for peace, we are stepping into it. And as you pray with boldness, as you declare with trust, as you worship in the waiting, know this: God's peace will guard you, His calm will restore you, and His Spirit will carry you through anything. Get ready, this is the beginning of your breakthrough. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, right now, in the stillness of this morning, I come before you, not with empty words or routine prayers, but with a heart that longs desperately, wholeheartedly for your peace, the kind of peace that silences the chaos, the kind that quiets the storm, not just around me, but within me. Father, you see the unrest that stirs even before my feet touch the floor, the racing thoughts, the burdens I try to lay down but find myself carrying again. And so, this morning, I am not asking for an ordinary start to my day. I am crying out for divine calm, for the supernatural stillness that only your Spirit can bring. I do not come in fear or in defeat, but in faith, declaring that today I will not be ruled by anxiety. I will not bow to dread or allow stress to dictate the course of my hours. I call on you, the God of peace, the one who speaks to the wind and waves and says, "Be still." Speak that word into my soul today. Lord, let the echo of your voice drown out every lie of the enemy, every fear of the unknown, every anxious projection of what could go wrong. I choose to trust in the God who holds the future, who holds me. Holy Spirit, breathe upon me now. Overshadow every restless thought with your presence. Flow into every crevice of my mind that has been tormented by worry and flood it with light. Dispel the shadows of doubt. Uproot the heaviness of despair. Let your peace guard my heart like an unshakable fortress. I welcome you to reign over my emotions, over my schedule, over every encounter, every conversation, every unknown detail that lies ahead. I yield it all to you. I surrender it not because I have no power, but because your power is greater. I remember what you have done. I remember the nights when I thought I would not make it through, and yet you brought me peace that did not make sense. I remember the moments when tears fell faster than words could be formed, and yet you gave me strength to breathe. And so I know deep in the marrow of my soul that the same God who gave peace in the past is here now, that the same Jesus who walked on water will walk into this day with me. Lord, I tear down every stronghold of unrest right now in Jesus' name. Every lie that says I have to handle it all alone, every whisper that tells me I am behind, that I am not enough, that I must earn my worth. I renounce that voice and I silence it with the truth that I am held. I am loved. I am not walking into battle, I am walking into victory, because you have already gone before me. Let this be a day where peace leads me, where calmness becomes my companion. Let me walk slower and listen deeper. Let my reactions be filled with grace and my words seasoned with kindness. If the day demands more than I think I can give, remind me that you are my source. If unexpected trials arise, let them find me already anchored in you. My soul does not have to panic, because my God is not surprised. I invite your peace into my home, into every room, into my thoughts when I rise and into my dreams when I rest. Let my spirit be a dwelling place for tranquility so real it changes the atmosphere around me. Let others feel it when they stand near me, not because I have it all together, but because I have given it all to you. Lord, when the world presses in with urgency, teach me to pause. When voices pull me in a dozen directions, let me hear only yours. I do not want to be busy, I want to be centered. I do not want to chase peace, I want to live in it. I do not want to fake serenity. I want to be saturated in it. You are not the author of confusion. You are the Prince of Peace. And so I bind every distraction, every disturbance, every deception that would try to steal my serenity. I declare that today my heart will not be troubled, neither will it be afraid. For I belong to the one who commands the morning. Let your stillness be the soil where my thoughts take root. Let your calm be the river where my soul finds rest. Let your presence be the atmosphere in which I live and move and have my being. And Father, for every burden I still carry, spoken or unspoken, I lay it down now. I may not have answers. I may not see the full picture, but I have you, and you are enough. I choose this peace, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your love is, because your promises are yes and amen, because your Spirit lives in me, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom and peace, and stillness, and joy. This is not the peace the world gives, it is yours. Sacred, strong, eternal, and I receive it. I step into it. I speak it over my life. I decree it over my day. I embrace it with open arms, because I know deeply, truly, confidently that you are with me, and where you are, nothing can shake me. And even now, Lord, as I inhale the breath you have graciously given me, I declare that every breath I take today will be a reminder of your faithfulness. I will not take for granted the miracle of this moment, of being alive, of being loved, of being known by you, in a world that spins with constant noise and endless distractions. I anchor my soul in the quiet confidence that you are near, that you are not only watching over me, but dwelling within me, that you are not a distant deity. I am cradled in the arms of my Father. Soften my heart, Lord, so that I may recognize your whispers. Let not the loudness of the world drown out the soft voice of your Spirit. Teach me to retreat into the sanctuary of your presence, even while I walk through the business of this day. Let your peace be not just something I request, but something I abide in. Let it not be fleeting, but fixed. Carve it into the rhythm of my life, until calmness becomes my instinct and trust becomes my default. In every meeting, in every phone call, in every task, in every interruption, I invite you to reign. I invite you to lead. And I declare that peace will preside, that nothing today will touch me before it first passes through your hands. I trust that every challenge I face is already being redeemed for my good. I choose to see your fingerprints in even the most unexpected places. Let divine perspective be my lens. Let discernment be my guide. Let stillness be my power. I refuse to let worry steal from me again. I refuse to let fear sabotage the joy you have already placed in my path. I rebuke the spirit of unrest that tries to take root through what-ifs and hypotheticals. My soul will not wander in uncertainty, because my shepherd leads me beside still waters. I will not allow the urgency of the world to outrun the pace of grace you have set for me. I walk today not as a victim of circumstance, but as a child of divine providence. And Lord, for the moments when peace seems distant, remind me again gently, firmly, that you are my refuge, that your peace is not a feeling to be chased, but a truth to be claimed, that it is my birthright as your beloved, that I can access it not because I am strong, but because you are sovereign. You, who calm the storm with a word, can calm the storm in me with a whisper. I lift up my hands not as a gesture of defeat, but as a sign of dependence, not because I have no control, but because I trust the one who controls all things. I yield my mind, my emotions, my body to the Holy Spirit. Let every fiber of my being be saturated with your peace until it overflows into every area of my life. Let my reactions be softened by grace. Let my tone carry your gentleness. Let my silence be sacred, and my speech be seasoned with wisdom from above. And God, I know I am not the only one waking up needing this peace. So I intercede for every soul who opens their eyes this morning with a heart heavy and weary, for the mother anxious about her children, for the father burdened with provision, for the lonely soul who longs to be seen, for the grieving one aching with loss, for the anxious, the restless, the overwhelmed. I stand in the gap for them now. Stretch forth your hand, mighty God, and let the floodgates of peace pour over them. Cover them with your comfort. Wash over them with your kindness. Let them feel, even now, that you are holding them through it all. I ask you to do what only you can do. Restore minds that have been tormented. Settle hearts that have been shaken. Bring clarity where confusion once ruled. Break every cycle of anxiety that has wrapped itself around your people. Silence the voice of despair. Quench the fiery darts of the enemy with the shield of faith. Replace inner turbulence with divine tranquility. And for those who have forgotten what peace even feels like, Lord, let today be the day they remember. Let today be the day serenity is no longer a distant dream, but a present reality. Let them feel it in their bones. Let it still the tremble in their hands. Soften the tension in their brows. Loosen the grip of stress around their shoulders. Let peace be their portion. Let rest be their gift. Let joy be their strength. I decree in the name of Jesus that the spirit of heaviness is broken, that the garment of praise replaces mourning, and that divine calm becomes the anthem of this day. I declare that this day is not subject to the fear of man, nor the pressure of the world, nor the weight of yesterday. This day belongs to the Lord, and if it belongs to you, God, then it is filled with purpose, saturated with grace, and overflowing with peace. Lead me into still waters again and again, Lord, not just for a moment, not just for today, but for every waking hour of my life. Let stillness not be a rare miracle, but a daily norm in your presence. Let peace not be a guest, but a resident in my soul. Let calmness not be a pause, the very rhythm of my heart as I walk in step with you. Even when the world spins faster, even when pressure rises, let me stay steady. Let me be unshaken because I am rooted in you. Let your word be my anchor. Let your truth be my compass. Let your spirit be my guide. Let every moment of this day be an altar where I return to commune with you again and again. Let prayer be my oxygen. Let worship be my weapon. Let surrender be my strength. Because in that surrender, I find rest, I find refuge, I find you. And even when my thoughts begin to wander, when my mind drifts back into the clutches of overthinking, Remind me to return to you not with guilt, not with shame, but with open hands and a willing heart. Remind me that peace is not earned through performance, but received through presence. That you are not measuring me by how many times I have failed to stay calm, but by how many times I return to you, hungry for more of your stillness. You are not a taskmaster demanding perfection. You are a father longing to quiet his child with love. Let that love be the weight that holds me down in truth when anxiety tries to lift me into panic. Let your mercy wrap around me like a blanket when I feel exposed to the harsh winds of uncertainty. Let your grace be the rhythm that tames my hurried heart and teaches me to walk slowly, intentionally, in the steps you have ordered for me. And when I forget, because sometimes I will, call me gently back to center, back to stillness, back to you. This day may not go as I planned. There may be interruptions, disappointments, sudden turns I never saw coming. But I declare that none of it will shake me from your peace. Because I have chosen to build my house on the rock, and though the winds blow and the waters rise, I shall not be moved. I will not crumble under pressure. I will not collapse in fear. I will remember who I am and whose I am, and I will remain anchored in the shelter of your wings. You are my hiding place, O God. The world may never understand this peace I walk in, this calm that defies logic, this serenity that does not come from circumstances, but from communion. And that is okay, because this is not a peace manufactured by human hands. It is divine. It is holy. It is mine because it is you and me, the very Prince of Peace abiding within me, ruling from the throne of my heart. Let that truth govern every step I take today. Let it settle my nerves before a difficult conversation. Let it guide my words when tensions rise. Let it still my spirit when I face something unfamiliar. Let me not default to panic or stress or control. Let me lean into you instead, choosing surrender over striving, choosing rest over restlessness. I release control today, not because I have given up, but because I have given it over to you, the one who holds all things together. I will not hold so tightly to my plans that I miss your whispers. I will not grip so hard to my timing that I miss your perfect timing. I open my hands to you. Shape this day as you see fit. I give you my yes before I even know what you will ask of me. Let peace be the language I speak, not just to others, but to myself. Let my self-talk be rooted in truth and soaked in grace. When I am tempted to rehearse worst-case scenarios, let me instead recall your faithfulness. When fear begins to narrate my day, interrupt it with the sound of your promises. Speak louder than the lies, louder than the noise, louder than my doubts. Let peace have the final say. Let it flood my mornings and echo through my nights. Let it walk with me in the daylight and cover me in the darkness. Let it greet me in the mirror and follow me into every room. Let it transform my posture and my presence until people around me begin to feel it too, until my peace becomes contagious and others are drawn not to me, but to the source within me. I want to live as a vessel of peace, a carrier of calm, a temple where your spirit dwells unbothered by the whirlwind outside. Teach me to maintain inner stillness, even when the external world is in motion. Help me walk in spiritual poise. Help me to remember that panic is not my portion, that stress is not my identity, that my inheritance is peace, my calling is calm, and my nature is transformed through your spirit. And in the moments I can find the words. Let my silence be prayer enough. Let my tears speak the language you understand. Let the sighs I release from my weary lungs rise up as incense before you. You hear even what I cannot articulate. You see even what I do not know how to explain. And still, you love. And still, you stay. And still, you offer peace. There is no part of me too anxious for you, no thought too scattered, no heart too overwhelmed. You do not ask me to be composed before I come to you. You compose me when I come to you. You gather the broken pieces and hold them together with your presence. You take the trembling pieces of my soul and breathe life and stillness into them again. So even if my voice trembles, I will speak. Even if my heart wavers, I will pray. Even if my faith is small today, I will stretch it out toward you and say, Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. For I know this much. You are not just with me, you are for me. And the God who is for me is more powerful than any force that rises against me. You go before me into every room, into every situation. Your peace is not behind me, it surrounds me like a shield. It wraps around every fear. Like a river, it flows through every dry place. Like oil, it soothes every wound. You are not merely the God of calm, you are calm itself. You are not simply the author of peace, you are peace. So I sit with you. I linger in this holy stillness. I allow the noise to fall away, the distractions to dissolve, the expectations to be lifted. And in this sacred space, I find you again, not in the whirlwind, not in the fire, but in the whisper. And the whisper is enough. The whisper is healing. The whisper is holy. Let me live from this place. Let my days be governed by this stillness. Let my decisions be born from peace, not pressure. Let my steps be steady because they are planted in grace, not driven by fear. Let my life be a living testimony that is possible to walk in calmness, to live in peace, to rise above the storm because of the one who dwells within. And in this stillness, Lord, something sacred begins to awaken. It is more than relief, it is renewal. More than comfort, it is communion. It is the sense that I am not just surviving the day, I am entering it empowered, wrapped in the very peace that surpasses understanding. Because I know who walks with me. You are not just a shelter I run to when life gets hard. You are the very atmosphere I breathe. You are the environment of my soul. You are peace when I rise and peace when I sleep. You are peace when I am praised and peace when I am misunderstood. You are peace when things fall into place and peace when things fall apart. You are not seasonal. You are not circumstantial. You are steady and sure, the same yesterday, today, and forever. So I choose today to plant my roots deeper into you, not into business, not into approval, not into the illusion of control, but into you, into the one who calls me still. Even in the middle of the storm, you do not require me to impress you. You simply invite me to be with you. And from that being, from that holy connection, flows everything I need. My calm, my clarity, my joy, they are all found in abiding. when I am tempted to rush ahead. Slow me when I am drawn into the noise. Whisper louder when I feel overwhelmed. Remind me that peace is not the absence of pressure, it is the presence of you within pressure. Let me learn to carry peace like armor, wear it like fragrance, release it like a river. Let me respond with peace, not just receive it. Let me be a peacemaker in a world that feeds on division. Let me be a light that refuses to flicker, even when the winds blow harder. God, let peace not only guard my heart, but train it. Discipline it, mature it, grow me in gentleness. Teach me the power of soft strength, the kind that does not need to shout to be heard, that does not need to win to feel secure, that does not need to be first to know it is loved. Make me immune to panic. Make me resilient in quiet trust. Make me courageous in the calm. I lift up every decision I will make today, every interaction I will have, every task I will face. Let none of them be driven by fear. Let none of them be tainted by anxiety. Filter every choice through the lens of peace. Let me consult you before I consult my own reasoning. Let me lean not on my understanding, but on your wisdom that never fails. And when I am tempted to react from the flesh, help me pause, breathe, and choose to act from the Spirit instead. Let your peace reach even into the corners of my life I try to hide, the parts of me that are still healing, the pieces that still ache in silence. Flood those spaces. 2. Bring your light into every dark chamber. Touch every memory that still carries pain. Reframe every lie that once took root and replace it with truth that liberates. I do not just want to feel peaceful, I want to be made whole. I want to live unfractured. I want to walk unburdened. So I cast it all again at your feet. The pressures, the timelines, the guilt, the doubt, the worry over things I can't control, and the awareness from trying to control them anyway. You never asked me to carry this weight. You asked me to come to you, all who are weary, and you would give me rest. So here I am, laying it down, not just for now, but for good. If it rises again, I will lay it down again, as many times as it takes. I will keep returning to the altar of your presence until peace is no longer a visitor, but my eternal home. And Lord, when the day grows long and I feel the tension start to creep back in, help me recognize it early. Help me respond quickly. Let prayer become my reflex, not my last resort. Let worship rise from my lips, even when I do not feel like it. Let me create space for stillness, even in the business. A moment to step away, breathe deep, and remind my soul, God is here. God is enough. Peace is mine. Even in a world that glorifies hustle, let me value rest. Let me see rest not as laziness, but as obedience. Let me know that calmness is not weakness, it is power under surrender. Help me walk away from what drains me. Say no to what distracts me, and say yes to what feeds the quiet strength you have placed within me. Surround me with people who carry your peace, and make me that kind of person for others. Let my home be a refuge because your peace abides there. Let my work be meaningful because I labor from rest. Let my words be life-giving because they are spoken from a heart at peace. Let every place my feet touch be different, because I brought you with me not in theory, but in presence. Tangible, transforming, true. Let me never forget that peace is not passive. It is active. It is fierce in its stillness. It is unshaken in the face of chaos. It is holy ground in the middle of battle. It is oil on troubled waters. And that kind of peace is not fragile, it is a weapon. A shield. A declaration that my soul is rooted in something eternal. That I do not belong to fear, and I do not serve the kingdom of worry. I walk in the authority of peace, and I am clothed in the confidence of Christ. So I stand in the full armor of peace today, not with clenched fists or a racing pulse, but with open hands and steady steps, knowing that nothing formed against me will prosper when I abide in the shelter of the Most High. I am not just walking through this day, I am walking with you, and that changes everything. Every detail, every moment, every challenge is infused with divine purpose, because you are in it, and where you are, there is peace that cannot be stolen. Let the stillness I carry become a testimony, not just for me, but for the world around me. Let the calm that settles over my spirit speak louder than panic ever could. Let those who cross my path today sense something different, not because I am perfect, not because life is easy, but because the peace of God rules in my heart like a mighty river, flowing from the throne of grace and quenching the thirst of a weary soul. And when the enemy tries to whisper again that I am not enough, that I am running out of time, that I have failed too many times, let me answer not with fear, but with the truth of your word. Let me say with confidence, my peace does not come from my performance. It comes from the one who calmed the storm by simply saying, "Peace, be still." Let your words silence the lies. Let your presence silence the noise. Let your spirit rise up within me as my guide, my comforter, my steady hand. If the day ahead holds unknowns, I will not be afraid, because I know the one who goes before me, and he is faithful. If I am met with unexpected battles, I will not shrink back, for my soul is anchored in the one who has already won. If I am faced with choices that require wisdom beyond me, I will lean into you. I will ask and I will wait, for I trust the God who gives generously to those who seek. Let peace be the lens through which I view every situation. Let me not rush to assume, not rush to defend, not rush to fix, but first pause. First breathe. First pray. Let your spirit guide my response. Let the words I speak be soaked in peace and carry the weight of your presence. Let me not add to the noise of the world, but carry an atmosphere of holy calm wherever I go. I do not want to be ruled by my emotions today, Lord. I do not want to be pulled in every direction by fear, by opinions, by pressure, or performance. I want to be rooted deeply, securely in your truth, in your love, in your peace, that even when things go wrong, I do not go with them, that even if I feel shaken, I remain standing, not because of who I am, but because of who you are in me. And for the moments when peace feels far, remind me that it is never gone. It is always accessible, always waiting, always present, like the steady pulse of your love beneath the surface of my soul. I do not need a perfect environment to walk in peace. I need your presence. And your presence is here. Right now. Always. Faithful and unchanging. Whispering. Be still, and know that I am God. Even in my restlessness, you are patient. Even in my doubt, you are faithful. Even in my chaos, you are calm. So draw me nearer again, into deeper trust, into deeper stillness, into deeper surrender. Teach me that peace is not something I chase, but someone I remain with. That peace is not a destination I arrive at, but a person I walk with. Let my heart beat slow to the rhythm of heaven. Let my breath synchronize with grace. Let my soul find its cadence in the assurance that I am known, I am held, I am safe. And let me stop trying to outrun what only your presence can resolve. I do not need to have all the answers. I do not need to see the whole path. I just need to stay in step with you, and step by step, peace will follow. You are not in the pressure. You are not in the panic. You are not in the striving. You are in the stillness, in the surrender, in the sacred pause where I trade fear for faith and noise for nearness. So teach me to love stillness, not just tolerate it, but crave it. Seek it. Cherish it. Let stillness become my sanctuary and peace my portion every day I live. And Lord, I thank you not because everything is perfect, but because your peace is perfect in every imperfect situation. I thank you that even when I am weak, you are strong, that even when I am tired, you never sleep, that when I am uncertain, you are the rock beneath my feet. I thank you that this peace is not a fragile gift, but a mighty promise, not a fleeting feeling, but a fortress. I thank you that in your peace, I am transformed. Let that transformation reach every part of me. Let it saturate my mind, cleansing old thought patterns. Let it wash over my heart, healing wounds I have carried too long. Let it steady my hands, that I may serve with grace. Let it plant my feet, that I may stand with courage. Let it lift my eyes, that I may see from heaven's view, not from fear, not from fatigue, but from faith. And as I go forward into this day, let peace remain my anthem. Let it be the melody in my mind and the anchor in my spirit. Let it be my first response and my final thought. Let it echo in every step, every choice, every breath, not because I strive for it, but because I have surrendered to the one who is peace, because I have yielded my life to the Prince of Peace, who calms every storm not always around me, but always within me. So even if today brings winds that I did not expect, I will not be shaken. Even if I hear reports that stir fear in others, I will not internalize them. I will carry a stillness that is not born of ignorance, but of confidence, because I know who holds all things together. I will not ride the emotional roller coaster of every news cycle, every conflict, every demand. I will walk steadily, calmly, intentionally, because peace is my portion and serenity is my inheritance in you. And when the noise tries to rise again, when the pace of life attempts to steal my stillness, I will not surrender my peace so easily. I will fight for it with the quiet strength of worship. I will protect it by staying in your presence. I will guard it with the truth that you are not only in control, you are also good. Good in the waiting. Good in the wondering. Good in the process. Father, let peace take deeper root today. Not surface-level peace that depends on everything going right, but deep, unshakable peace that grows in the soil of surrender. Peace that withstands pressure. Peace that outlasts trouble. Peace that refuses to break under the weight of what-ifs and unknowns. Let me not just carry peace, I want to become peace. I want to embody it so completely that it spills out of me in every interaction, every glance, every quiet response. Let peace transform how I listen. Let it shape the way I see people, not through judgment or assumption, but through grace. Let it soften my tone and steady my reactions. Let it give me wisdom to speak life and discernment, to know when to stay silent. Let it infuse every part of me so deeply that even my presence becomes a healing balm for those whose hearts are in turmoil. I do not want to live reactive. I want to live responsive to you, not led by fear or obligation or comparison, but led by the still, small voice that whispers calm into chaos, that speaks truth over noise, that calls me back again and again to the place where my soul can exhale and find rest. And in those places of quiet, in the early mornings and hidden corners, let me learn to rest again, to sit without needing to produce, to breathe without needing to prove. Let me delight in being yours, apart from doing anything. Let me find joy not in the completion of tasks, but in the nearness of your spirit. You are not measuring me by my productivity, but by my intimacy with you. So strip away the pressure to perform. Release me from the burden of always needing to be strong. In you, I am free to be vulnerable. In you, I am free to admit my need. In you, I am safe to say, I am tired. And know that you do not reject me, you restore me. You do not shame my weakness, you supply your strength. Let that be enough for today. And for the moments I forget, when I fall back into old habits, when I start to clench control again, when I got burdens you never asked me to carry, gently remind me. Peace is still available. Grace is still abundant. Your arms are still open. Let me return quickly. Let me not linger in restlessness. Let me fall into peace again and again until it becomes my dwelling place. Let peace become a shield for my thoughts. Let it cover the vulnerable spaces of my heart. Let it surround my home, saturate my conversations, and fill the air I breathe. Let it touch every relationship, heal every misunderstanding, and restore what chaos tried to destroy. Let your peace go before me and follow after me. Let it hem me in behind and before. And if anyone around me is drowning in fear or restlessness, let them find peace through my overflow, not because I have all the answers, but because I carry the one who is peace. Let them sense your presence when they are with me. Let my calm draw their hearts to you. Let my steadiness make them curious, not about me, but about the God who keeps me grounded in a shaking world. Let me be content to live slower, to move at the pace of grace, to reject the lie that faster is better, louder is stronger, or busier is more holy. Let me trust that your timing is perfect and your presence is sufficient. Let me leave room in my day for you to interrupt my plans with purpose. Let my plans always be secondary to your will. And as the sun rises, warming the earth and calling the world to begin again, I rise too, not in a rush, but with resolve, not in anxiety, but in awareness of you. I choose to begin this day not with my checklist, but with gratitude, not with scrolling through noise, but with stillness in your word, not with fear about what is ahead, but with faith in who goes before me. Your peace is the compass I will follow. Your spirit is the wind I will lean into. Your promises are the ground I will walk on. Let that be the rhythm of this day, not panic, not pressure, not striving, but peace. And as I walk forward into this new morning, Lord, let me remember that peace is not passive, it is a discipline, a decision, a way of being anchored in you. Let me choose it even when my emotions try to pull me elsewhere. Let me reach for it when circumstances tempt me to sink. Let me guard it like a precious treasure, because it is not cheaply gained. This peace was purchased with blood, sealed with love, and given by grace through Christ. It is sacred, it is eternal, and it is mine. Help me to recognize the small beginnings of unrest before they become storms. Let me feel the tension in my chest as a signal to turn toward you, not to turn inward in fear or outward in frustration. Teach me to pause, to notice, to listen to your whisper over the roar of life. Let me meet every rise in stress with an invitation for you to step in. Let peace be the reflex of my soul, the first language of my spirit. When I feel stretched thin, remind me that I am not alone, that even when I do not speak aloud what I am carrying, you know, that even when I pretend I am fine, you see the fatigue, the pressure, the effort beneath the surface. And you do not judge me for it. You meet me in it. You sit beside me in the unspoken and whisper, let me carry that. Let that be enough for me today, not to solve everything, not to fix everyone, not to outrun the challenges, to walk peacefully in your presence, trusting that you are at work in ways I cannot see, trusting that when I sow seeds of faith, even in quiet places, you are faithful to bring fruit in due time. Trusting that when I carry peace, I carry the kingdom. And when my inner world feels like it is moving too fast, help me to slow down my breath, to close my eyes and feel the nearness of your spirit. To remember that even when my body is moving, my soul can remain still in you. Let this stillness become my strength, not because of its volume, but because of its depth. Let it anchor me in confidence that you are holding me together when everything around me threatens to fall apart. God, I know the world is not gentle. I know it often demands more than we can give, rushes us before we are ready, expects us to wear strength as a mask and hurry as a badge of honor. But you call me to something different. You call me to walk in step with eternity, not the tyranny of urgency. You call me to choose peace when it would be easier to perform. You call me to choose grace when anxiety tempts me to strive. You call me to rest when the world tells me I must earn rest. So today, I rebel against the pressure to hurry, to prove, to perfect. I choose the quiet rebellion of stillness. I choose the radical trust of rest. I choose to believe that I am loved right now. Not when I finish everything, not when I figure everything out, not when I feel emotionally composed, but now, in this breath, in this quiet, in this holy morning. Let my thoughts be lifted to higher places. Let them not be consumed with what might happen, or what others think, or what I still need to accomplish. Let them be soaked in truth. Let them dwell on things noble and lovely and praiseworthy. Let my imagination become a garden for peace to grow, not a battlefield for fear to rage. Let my mornings begin like this. More often, God, not in reaction to stress, but in response to love, not as a desperate escape, but as a daily rhythm of coming home to you. I do not want peace to be the exception. I want it to be my normal. I want it to govern my internal world, even when everything around me shifts. I want it to rise within me like a quiet stream that never runs dry. And when voices around me escalate, when the tone of the day becomes harsh or loud, or filled with tension, teach me to hold space for peace, to speak slowly, to smile gently, to walk away from chaos when needed, to be a calm in the middle of conflict, not just for myself, but for others, to make room in the moment for your spirit to move. You said, "Blessed are the peacemakers," and I want to live as one, not just as one who enjoys peace, but as one who builds it, one who chooses it actively. Let my hands sow it, my words water it, and my life reflect it. Let the way I navigate this day be marked not by haste or heaviness, but by peace that whispers through my every action. God is here, because you are. You are here in this breath, in this space, in this day. And where you are, peace is not optional, it is inevitable. Let me align with it. Let me be in harmony with heaven's rhythm. Let me remember that peace is not a feeling that drifts in and out. It is a person. It is you, Jesus, you, my peace, the one who calms my storm by calming me. And even when the winds keep howling, and the waves do not stop crashing, even if the sky never clears and the answers do not come right away, I will hold to your peace. I will cling to your word. I will plant myself in the calm of knowing that I am deeply known, fully loved, and never alone. Not now, not ever. And in this assurance, Lord, I find the courage to breathe slower. I find the freedom to live softer, not with weakness, but with trust. I do not have to be loud to be heard in your kingdom. I do not have to be perfect to be present with you. You do not wait for me to sort myself out. Before you draw near, you are near. Even now, you draw close to the brokenhearted. You inhabit the stillness with glory. You saturate the silence with grace. So let me linger here a little longer. Let me not be in a hurry to leave this place where my soul meets yours. Let me stay in this divine pause where heaven brush earth and eternity becomes more real than time. I do not want to rush through sacred moments. I want to let them soak through me. Change me, reorder me from the inside out. I want to carry the weight of peace, not as a burden, but as a holy presence that steadies me. Lord, I know the day may demand much. I know my schedule may press, my tasks may pull, my mind may wander. But I declare that my spirit will remain grounded, That the peace I feel now is not momentary, it is my inheritance. And if I lose sight of it, I will come back again and again. I will return to this place of stillness, of breath, of sacred connection, where your presence is not an interruption, but the intention. Help me find you in every hour, in the clinking of dishes and the movement of traffic, in the laughter of strangers and the silence between moments. Help me see you in the ordinary and hear you in the spaces where most would rush past. Teach me to live aware not just of what I must do, but of who you are in every moment I do it. You are the God who walks with me in meetings, in errands, in quiet reflections and crowded places alike. Let me not compartmentalize peace to prayer time. Let me weave it into the fabric of everything, into how I speak to the cashier, how I listen to a friend, how I sit in my own thoughts without judgment. Let peace govern how I respond to delays, to disappointments, to distractions. Let it give me grace for myself when I fall short, and grace for others when they do too. Let peace teach me humility, the kind of humility that does not need to win, to shout, to prove, the kind of humility that leans on your strength, that finds beauty in gentleness, that surrenders the need to control. I want to trust so deeply that I can move through this day slowly and intentionally, without fear of missing something, because I believe you orchestrate what truly matters. Lord, I pray for peace not just in me, but through me, that wherever I go, your fragrance would linger, that anxious hearts would be calmed by something they can't explain, but that I know is you, that the atmosphere would shift when I enter the room, not because of my words or presence, but because of the one who dwells within me. Let me be a resting place for your spirit, even in moments of confrontation. Let me not lose the gentle strength of peace. Let me stand firm without being harsh. Let me speak truth without raising my voice. Let my spirit be unshaken even when my surroundings are unstable. Let peace be my posture, not my reaction. Let it lead me before I act and remain with me after I speak. And when I come to the end of this day, whenever and however that may be, let peace be what remains. Not the unfinished to-do list, not the weight of worry, not the noise of the world. Let what stays with me be the sweetness of having walked with you. Let it be the quiet joy of having stayed centered. Let it be the stillness that outlives every chaos I encountered. Let me lie down in peace when the night falls, not because the world is calm, but because my soul is, because I walked through this day aware that I am held, I am seen, and I am never, ever walking alone, because I remembered to return to you not just once, but often, because I chose stillness over striving, trust over tension, surrender over self. Thank you for teaching me how to live from rest. Thank you for showing me that calmness is not emptiness, but fullness of faith. That peace is not the absence of pressure, but the presence of purpose wrapped in grace. That serenity is not something I achieve, it is someone I receive. Again and again. Always near. Always enough. Let this awareness be my rhythm. Let it be the background melody of my thoughts, the undercurrent of my actions, the compass of my decisions. Let it guide how I love, how I forgive, how I listen, how I lead. Let it shape me in the hidden places, so that even when no one sees, peace is still the story you are writing in me. Let peace speak louder than panic in every hour. Let calmness stretch wider than conflict in every space. Let serenity rise deeper than stress in every situation. Let the evidence of your spirit be seen not in how loud I pray or how strong I appear, but how deeply I rest in you, in how gently I live, in how quietly I trust. So even in the moments when the world demands urgency, when it tells me to rush, to perform, to prove myself again, I will choose the slower way, the sacred way. I will choose to walk with you, not ahead of you, because peace is not in the pace, it is in the presence. It is not in the finish line, but in the footsteps. And I want every step I take today to echo with grace, grounded in your faithfulness and not in the fluctuations of my feelings. Help me to notice the gentle nudge of your spirit amid the clamor of everything else. Help me not to ignore the tug toward stillness because of the temptation to be productive. Make me sensitive again, not to the chaos, but to the quiet calling of your heart. Help me return over and over to the place where you remind me that I do not need to do more to be more. I just need to be with you. Let that be my greatest ambition today, not accomplishments, not applause, not results, but connection. Deep, steady, intimate connection with the one who formed me and knows every breath before I breathe it. Let me dwell in that awareness that I am fully known, completely seen, and still endlessly loved. And when worry begins to wrap around my thoughts like a fog, when the pressure to figure everything out feels too heavy, help me remember that I was never created to carry what only you can hold. Help me place it back in your hands again and again, without guilt, without shame, and without delay. Let surrender become second nature. Let trust become my anchor, the place I fall into not just when I am desperate, but when I am devoted. Let peace not be something I beg for, but something I walk in. Let it not be a distant hope, but a present promise. Let me rise with it. Let me sleep in it. Let me make decisions with it as my compass, even if those decisions are small, unseen, or slow. Because peace is not flashy, it is faithful. It does not always look like breakthrough, but it always leads to blessing. And I pray not just for peace in the quiet moments, but for peace in the crowded ones. In traffic, in deadlines, in long lines and heavy conversations. Let peace guard me like a watchman. Let it stand between me and everything trying to steal my joy. Let it remind me that no external storm can overpower the internal stillness born of your spirit. Let your peace become the most undeniable reality of my day. Let it settle not only in my words and actions, but in my very countenance. Let it be seen in my eyes, heard in my voice, felt in my presence, not so that people think more highly of me, but so that they see you, the peace giver, the soul healer, the calm in every storm. Lord, I lift up to you every hidden ache that still tries to interrupt my peace. Old memories, lingering guilt, silent disappointments I have not yet named aloud. I give them to you now, not because I am strong enough to fix them, because I trust you enough to heal them. You are not impatient with my healing. You are not surprised by my tears. You are the one who collects them, holds them, redeems them. So even in grief, even in loss, even in the ache of unanswered prayers, let peace remain. Let it live alongside the sorrow, not in denial of it, but in redemption through it. Let me know that I do not have to choose between honesty and peace, that you welcome both, that your peace is strong enough to hold my pain and steady enough to carry my hope. And in those rare and quiet moments when I feel the full weight of your presence, when I sense the sacred hush of heaven pressing in, help me not to rush away. Help me to stay, to breathe, to soak in the stillness that reshapes my soul from within. Let that moment stretch beyond minutes and hours. Let it stretch into my mindset, into my language, into the way I live. Let peace not just be what I receive, but what I reflect. Let it define how I love others, especially the ones who are hard to love. Let it fuel my compassion. Let it soften my anger. Let it protect me from becoming reactive when I am tired or misunderstood. Let it form a barrier against bitterness. Let it be the fire that refines me without burning me out. I know the day will bring noise, voices, opinions, interruptions. But I know something louder still: your word over me, your promises anchoring me, your spirit resting within me. And in that knowledge, I am not fragile. I am not scattered. I am not lost. I am whole. I am steady. I am loved. I am at peace. Let me not measure this day by its accomplishments, but by the consistency of your presence in it. Let me not be consumed with keeping up, catching up, or getting ahead. Let me simply stay in step with you. If you pause, I will pause. If you speak, I will listen. If you lead, I will follow. And wherever you are, Lord, there I will find peace in its truest form, not fleeting, not shallow, but deep and everlasting. And if the path today wins unexpectedly, if detours appear or doors I hoped would open remain closed still, I will choose peace, not because everything makes sense, but because I trust in the one who sees beyond what I can. I trust in the God who does not waste any moment, who weaves purpose even through delay. So I will not fear the unknown. I will not chase after certainty in things that shift. I will lean fully into the certainty of your unchanging nature. Let that be the foundation I stand on when the ground beneath me feels uncertain. Let your character be the stability I lean on when my emotions rise and fall. Let me remember that you are not only aware of every outcome, I am already safe in your hands. No matter how it unfolds, your peace is not dependent on perfection. It is anchored in presence, and your presence is my home. So when disappointment knocks, I want to let it displace me. When anxiety whispers, I want to let it define me. When fear tries to write my story, I will hand the pen back to you. Let peace speak louder than every lie. Let it write a better narrative over my day, one not rooted in striving, but in surrender, one not based on the loudness of life, but on the quiet confidence of knowing I am walking with you. Let your word remain close to my heart like a hidden song I hum throughout the day. Let it come to mind when discouragement starts to press in. Let it interrupt my anxious spirals with holy truth. Let it realign my thoughts with who you are. For you are not a God of confusion. You are not the source of fear. You are the God of peace, and you dwell not only above the storm, but inside of me. Right here, right now. Let that truth drive out every worry that tries to nest in the corners of my mind. Let it chase out the shadows and flood me with light. Let your peace be like water soaking into every dry place, filling the spaces I did not even know were empty. Wash away the fatigue of yesterday. Wash away the regret. Wash away the anxious striving that creeps in unnoticed. Drench me, Lord, in peace that stays. And when I am tempted to look around and compare, when I see others moving faster, seeming stronger, reaching further, remind me that I am on my path, the one you have lovingly carved with your own hands. I do not need to match their pace. I do not need to mirror their journey. I need only to walk with you. One step, one breath, one act of trust at a time. Let me find joy in the hidden moments, the quiet places where no one claps and no one sees except you. Let me find peace not only in answered prayers, but in the waiting, in the silence, in the trusting. Let me learn to treasure even the slow unfolding, because there is beauty in becoming. There is transformation in stillness, and there is intimacy in choosing you over control. Let the peace you give me become the environment of my soul. Let it transform how I hold people, how I carry burdens, how I respond when things fall apart. Let it remind me that I am never without help. I am never truly alone. The same hands that shaped the stars hold my life with care. The same voice that calmed the sea speaks stillness into me. So I quiet myself again, not because I have figured it all out, but because I am choosing trust. I choose to live differently. I choose to begin each day from a place of rest. I choose to draw from heaven's well instead of my own strength. I choose the narrow road of peace. When the world pushes me toward panic, I choose presence over pressure. And in the choosing, I begin to feel it again, that soft, steady rhythm of grace moving through me. That sacred calm that comes not from escape, but from encounter. That clarity that rises when I pause long enough to hear your whisper. That deep sense that I am right where I need to be, not because I have all the answers, but because I am walking with the answer. So wherever I go today, let peace lead the way. Let it be the first thing I put on, and the last thing I carry into the night. Let it meet me in conversations, guide me in decisions, comfort me in disappointments, and celebrate with me in joys. Let it dwell not just in the highs, but in the mundane, in the middle of tasks and transitions. Let me be okay with quiet. Let me welcome simplicity. Let me turn down the noise and find contentment in the hush. The world screams for attention, but you speak in stillness. And I want to hear you. I want to tune my heart so finely that I recognize your nudge even in the middle of chaos. So let my sensitivity to your peace increase. Let it shape my priorities. Let it simplify my motives. Let it steady my yes and clarify my no. Even if the schedule fills and the hours feel fast, let my soul move slowly. Let my spirit not be rushed. Let my heart walk in rhythm with eternity. Not urgency. Let peace become the soil from which my love grows, my words bloom, my actions flow. Let it anchor every part of me so deeply in you that even the winds of stress cannot uproot it. And even as I prepare to enter into the demands of this day, Lord, remind me that I do not go empty-handed. I carry something priceless within me, your peace. A peace not made by this world and not undone by it. A peace that is not reactive, but proactive, that walks ahead of every confrontation, speaks louder than every fear, and waits patiently at every crossroad to guide me with your gentle counsel. So I choose to draw from it, to lean on it, to rest in it when I feel stretched, to return to it when I drift. Let peace become my first response, not frustration, not judgment, not fear, but peace, that sacred stillness that says, God is in this. I do not have to have it all figured out. I just have to stay connected. Let that connection grow stronger today, not in theory, but in experience. Let me not just speak about your peace, but live in it so deeply that it transforms how I think, how I move, how I interact. Let peace filter every perception. Let it slow my reactions and deepen my awareness. Let it sharpen my discernment so that I can see what truly matters and release what does not. And when I am surrounded by people who are restless, overwhelmed, or anxious, let me not absorb their chaos. Let me invite them into stillness. Let the calm in me remind them of the calm available to them. Let my words bring comfort, not criticism. Let my eyes reflect compassion, not control. Let my spirit be unshaken, even if theirs is trembling. Let me love with quiet strength, not with loud solutions. God, you have never once failed to show up when I needed peace, even when I did not have the words, even when I could not pray. You came in the middle of panic attacks, in the waiting room, in the tearful car rides, in the middle of nights where sleep would not come. You came. You settled over me like a weighted blanket for the soul. You breathed peace into lungs that were afraid to exhale. You reminded me that I was never abandoned, never forgotten, never out of reach. So help me never forget it now, in the rush, in the meetings, in the errands and emails and obligations. Let your peace go with me into all of it, as real and present as it was in the quietest moments. Let me not segment peace into certain spiritual moments, but welcome it into the entirety of my being, into parenting, into working, into waiting, into worship. Let the atmosphere around me change, because peace reigns within me. Let it settle in the tension I carry in my shoulders. Let it relax the stiffness in my spirit when I feel unseen or unappreciated. Let it soften the places where I have grown defensive from past wounds. Let it teach me how to release, how to exhale, how to trust again and again, because you are trustworthy every time. And in the places where my mind tends to wander, where I revisit old pain, rehearse imaginary arguments, or relive moments I wish I could redo, let peace intervene. Let it quiet the internal monologue. Let it interrupt the negative patterns. Let it place a gentle hand on my thoughts and lead them back to truth. The truth that I am not defined by what I have endured, I am defined by the one who has delivered me through it. Let peace not only be something I experience, but something I pass on. In the way I forgive, in the way I speak to strangers, in the way I make room for those who feel like they do not belong, in the way I give the benefit of the doubt, in the way I stop to really listen, not to fix, but to understand. Make me an ambassador of peace, not just a consumer of it. Let me never forget that I am a reflection of you, and you are not hurried. You are not frantic. You are not reactive. You are steady, wise, gentle, and completely at rest within yourself. If I am made in your image, then peace should not feel foreign. It should feel like home. So bring me back home today, Lord, not to a place, but to a posture, a state of heart where I know, deep and unwavering, that all is well because you are with me. And when uncertainty tries to shake that truth, when something unexpected disrupts my schedule or breaks my plans, let me see it not as chaos, but as an invitation to remember that peace was never rooted in predictability, but in proximity to you, that no plan is more secure than your presence, that no outcome is more essential than your nearness. So teach me to let go, not as a sign of defeat, but as an act of worship, to release my grip on how I thought things should go, and to open my hands in reverence to the way you are unfolding them. To believe, with full assurance, that your version of peace may look different than mine, but it will always be better, fuller, deeper, eternal. Even now, as I sit in the quiet, I feel it returning, that sense that I am not alone in this day, that I do not need to create peace, only to remain in it, that you, Lord, are not outside of me, urging me to find peace, but within me, supplying it like a well that never runs dry. So I return to the source, again and again, as many times as it takes. Let me never grow tired of coming back to you. Let my soul always find its way back to the calm. Let me live from this place, not just visit it. Let it become my dwelling, my daily beginning, my constant returning. Let it shape how I rest, how I work, how I wait. Let it teach me what truly matters and free me from what does not. So here I am again, Lord, still before you, unguarded, quiet, and willing to be shaped by the stillness, willing to be softened by the calm, willing to live this day differently, not driven by urgency, but moved by grace, not striving to manage every detail, but allowing you to write the story line by line in your perfect rhythm. Because the world may celebrate speed and constant productivity, but I choose something sacred. I choose the slow, deep work of trust. I choose the path of peace that listens more than it speaks, that breathes before it reacts, that creates space for you to move. In this space, I am recentered. In this quiet, I remember what matters. And I do not want to forget. Not when the noise returns. Not when my phone starts buzzing. Not when interruptions come, or disappointment visits, or pressure tightens like a rope around my chest. I want to remember this calm as more than a feeling. It is a foundation, a dwelling place I can live from, not just visit during devotion. It is not a break from real life. It is the realest part of life, abiding in you. Remind me that peace is not passive. It is not denial of hard things. It is the holy defiance of fear. It is choosing rest even when the world says panic. Is choosing still waters when everything else screams to run. And the more I choose it, the more it becomes who I am, not just what I experience. So transform me, Lord, from the inside out. Let me become peace, because I am becoming more like you. Let that peace be evident even in my smallest choices today, in how I greet the morning, in how I speak to those closest to me, in how I react to the unexpected, in how I treat myself in thought and word. Let it seep into my posture, my presence, my pace. Let it inform how I walk, how I pause, how I pray. And Lord, on the days when I am not okay, when I feel distant from the calm, when I feel overwhelmed and broken, help me not to hide from you. Help me not to fake peace when what I need is to cry out for it. Because you never asked me to be composed for you, only to come to you. So in my weakness, help me come honestly. Let my broken prayers rise as incense. Let my scattered thoughts still find their way to you. Because you are not far. You are closer than my breath. And you are not impatient with my process. You are not surprised by my need. You do not shame my wrestling. You sit with me in it, whispering peace even before it fully lands. And eventually, always, it comes like sunlight through clouded windows, like warmth returning to frozen limbs, like homecoming after long wandering. And when it does, it changes everything. Not always my situation, but my sight. Not always my circumstances, but my center. Peace does not always mean the storm stops. It means I stop fearing it. It means I trust that even in the swirl of what I can control, you are still God, and you are still good. Let that truth settle deeper into me today. Let it become unshakable in my bones. That I do not need to earn what you have already offered. That I do not need to prove I am okay in order to be held. That I can be both growing and grieving, both learning and limping, both healing and hurting, and still be entirely wrapped in your peace. And if this day holds things I have not prepared for, let my peace not be stolen. If it brings conversations that stretch me, decisions that weigh heavily, or moments that press against my limits, let me meet them not with panic, but with the posture of peace. Not with defensiveness, but with dignity. Not with withdrawal, but with wisdom rooted in your spirit. Let every interaction be an opportunity to carry peace into the room. Let me be a safe place for those who are anxious. Let my presence be like still water for souls who are weary. Let people feel lighter after being near me, not because of who I am, but because of who you are within me. You are the Prince of Peace, and I am your vessel. So use me today as an extension of calm in a culture of chaos. Make my steps sure, not hurried. Make my speech thoughtful, not reactive. Make my hands gentle, not harsh. Make my thoughts focused, not frantic. Let everything I touch today be marked by a peace that confounds and comforts, a peace that speaks of heaven more than of earth. And when I lie down again tonight, Lord, let this same peace be the blanket over my soul. Let it silence the noise of unspoken worries. Let it comfort the questions I still carry. Let it hold me until I rest, not just physically, but spiritually. Let me end the day as I began it, in you. Steady, rooted, known, loved, carried. And even if I wake tomorrow needing to pray this same prayer again, needing to be reminded again, needing to sit again in the silence to find you, then let it be so. Let it not be shameful to return to this place of dependence. Let it be sacred. Let it be worship, because coming back to peace is never weakness, it is wisdom. And coming back to you is never failure, it is faith. I want to be faithful, Lord, not in the way the world defines success, but in the hidden moments, faithful to guard the stillness, faithful to protect the softness in me, faithful to walk gently, even when the path is rough, faithful to let peace guide me when fear tries to make the decisions. Let that be my rhythm, my way of life, my spiritual dana. And when I see others who are drowning in stress, weighed down by burdens they cannot name, give me the compassion to listen, not to fix or control, but to be present with them, to reflect the peace I have found in you. Let them sense your nearness through my quiet patience. Let them feel a little lighter, a little safer, because someone carried stillness into their storm. You are the God who meets us in the eye of the hurricane, not by removing us from it, but by standing with us through it. So help me stop asking for the storm to end before I allow you to anchor me in the middle of it. Let your peace not be postponed until the problems disappear. Let it bloom now, right here, in the heart of all that is still unresolved. I do not want a peace that is circumstantial. I want a peace that is rooted, a peace that holds me when the bottom falls out, a peace that reminds me, even in the chaos, I am still okay, because I am still yours. I want that deep, soul-steadying assurance that no matter what falls apart around me, I will not unravel within, because you hold every thread together with sacred strength. Teach me to breathe deeper, to exhale the things I was never meant to carry, to inhale the holy stillness that comes only from you. Let every breath be a declaration that I am safe, I am whole, I am not alone. Let my lungs become a sanctuary for peace, my heart a vessel for calm, my soul a well of grace for others to draw from. And when my past tries to speak louder than your promises, let your peace silence it. When shame rises like a ghost, when guilt creeps back into my thoughts, let peace rise up like a flood to wash it all away. Not because I am perfect, but because you are merciful, and in your mercy, I find the kind of peace that makes no sense to the world, but makes perfect sense to my soul. Let peace become not just what I feel, but how I live. Let it become the tone of my voice, the pause between my words, the margin I create in my day. Let it be in my yes and in my no. Let it walk with me into conversations, ride with me in the car, sit with me in meetings, stand with me in the mirror. Let peace be my constant companion, not distant or fleeting, but close and ever present. And in the moments where I feel tempted to reach for distractions, to escape instead of engage, to numb instead of notice, gently call me back, not with condemnation, but with kindness. Call me back to the place of rest, of presence, of peace. Remind me that I do not have to do more, know more, or be more to return. I only have to turn toward you, and you are already here. You are the peace that waits in the early morning light and the stillness of night. You are the peace that greets me in the sunrise and holds me under moonlight. You are the peace in whispered prayers and in trembling hands. You are the peace that stays, even when I run, even when I forget, even when I doubt. So let my spirit rise today with quiet confidence. Let me carry serenity like armor. Let me move gently through the noise, and let me rest, even as I walk forward. Let me labor from a place of rest, speak from a place of truth, and lead from a place of love. Let peace not be something I practice only when things are easy, but something I cling to when things are hard. Let peace mature me. Let it shape the way I respond when I am misunderstood. Let it temper my reactions when I feel rejected. Let it hold me back from speaking when silence is more healing. Let it embolden me to speak when truth must be shared. Let peace make me wise beyond my years and gentle beyond my strength. Let it humble me. Let it dignify me. And in the still moments between all the noise, remind me that this is where I am most alive. Not in the rush, not in the crowds, not in the accolades, but in the nearness of you, in the soft hush of heaven meeting earth. In the divine quiet where I remember I am loved not because I strive, but because I belong. Let my entire being, body, mind, and spirit be aligned with that truth. Let peace find a home in my bones. Let calm wrap around every anxious part of me. Let my heartbeat settle to the rhythm of grace, and let everything in me echo one unshaken reality. You are here, and because you are here, I will not be moved. So as I go into this day, clothed not in fear but in peace, I choose to live unhurried. I choose to walk as one who is deeply assured, deeply held, and deeply seen by a God who never withdraws. I do not need to sprint toward clarity, for your peace is my compass. I do not need to demand resolution, for your peace surpasses understanding. And even if I do not understand all that is happening around me, I understand this one thing clearly. You are with me, and that is enough. Let me live from that enoughness. Let me parent from it, lead from it, create from it, serve from it. Let it free me from overcompensating, from performing for validation, from exhausting myself trying to be everything for everyone. Peace reminds me that I do not have to hold it all because you hold me. I do not have to have the right words, the perfect answers, or the flawless plan. I just have to stay close to you. And when I am tempted to slip back into old patterns, to rush, to worry, to wrap your peace around me like a mantle, let it remind me that I have been changed, that I do not have to live reactive anymore, that I can choose peace over panic, stillness over scrambling, surrender over striving. Not once, but moment by moment, breath by breath. God, I ask that you would continue to deepen my awareness of you throughout this day, in every mundane detail, in the grocery store line, in traffic, in passing conversations, in unanswered emails, in moments that seem too small to hold anything sacred. Remind me that you are in all of it. And because you are there, peace is there too. Let me not just practice peace in silence, but carry it into noise. Let it not flee when I enter into hard conversations, but grow stronger. Let it not retreat when life grows loud, but expand. Let it be the evidence of your presence that no situation can extinguish. Let it flow through my touch, my gaze, my pauses. Let it change the energy I bring into every space. And even when others do not respond the way I hope, even when kindness is not returned, when grace is not received, when calmness is misunderstood, help me hold to peace anyway. Not for applause, not for control, but because it is the way of Jesus. Because it is the fruit of your Spirit alive in me. Because it is the better way, the holy way, the way that heals rather than harms, lifts rather than crushes, softens rather than scars. Let peace make me patient with my process, patient with what has not changed yet, patient with the areas where I am still being refined. Let it silence self-judgment and replace it with compassion. Let it teach me to speak to myself the way you speak to me, with tenderness, with truth, with hope that never gives up. Let me become fluent in this language of peace, until it no longer feels like a foreign tongue, until it shapes even my subconscious thoughts, until it speaks through me when I do not know what to say, until it governs how I see the world, not through fear, but through faith that rests in your sovereignty. And Lord, when I am tempted to measure my worth by what I produce today, by how much I accomplish, how efficiently I work, how well I meet expectations, whisper again that my worth was never tied to output, that my value is not up for debate, that I was enough when I woke up, and I will be enough when I lay down, because I am yours, and you do not define me by what I do, but by who I am. Beloved, chosen, kept. So let that truth be the bedrock of my peace, not just sentiment, but solid ground, not fleeting comfort, but fierce stability. Let it carry me through criticism and silence, through recognition and rejection, through open doors and closed ones alike. Let peace be the place I return to, not when things fall apart, but always, because it is where I meet you. Let it speak into my parenting when I feel overwhelmed. Let it lead me in my marriage when I feel misunderstood. Let it center me in my friendships when expectations feel heavy. Let it soothe me in solitude and humble me in success. Let peace not be seasonal but permanent, not circumstantial but foundational. And even if peace today looks quiet and uneventful, if no big miracles come, if no major breakthroughs arrive, let me recognize the miracle in stillness, the miracle of breathing calmly, the miracle of not rushing, the miracle of smiling softly, the miracle of not needing to defend myself, the miracle of being okay right where I am. Let me treasure those miracles more than outcomes. Let me count peace itself as the victory, not something that comes after the storm, but the sacred calm that walks with me through it. Let that be my testimony, that I walked through fire, but the fire did not burn me, that I stood in the storm, but my roots only grew deeper, that I faced the day's demands, and I did so from a place of holy rest. And when this day comes to an end, whether it was full or simple, joyful or heavy, let peace be what remains. Let it be the atmosphere I fall asleep in. Let it be the story my heart tells back to you. Let it be the evidence that I did not walk alone, that you were with me, that I slowed down enough to hear you, that I leaned in instead of away, that I lived differently, not perfectly, but peacefully, not impressively, but intimately with you. And if tomorrow asks more of me than today did, if the weight is heavier, the demands louder, the silence deeper, then prepare my heart now, Father, with a peace that precedes the pressure. Not just peace that catches me when I fall, but peace that walks with me before I stumble. Peace that does not wait until I have broken down to arrive, but gently sustains me so I do not fall apart in the first place. Build me in such a way that I become a dwelling place for your peace, not a fragile structure that is shaken by every storm, but a rooted one, a heart so yielded to you that even when the winds of discouragement blow, they find no foothold. Even when disappointment knocks, it finds no welcome. Let peace be the door that remains locked to fear and wide open to your voice. Let me grow into this calm. Let it become my character, not just my coping. Let it be what people remember about me, not that I was impressive, but that I was grounded, not that I was loud, but that I was loving, not that I was always right, but that I was always anchored in something deeper, something unshaken. And when I fail, and I will when I forget, when I snap, when I react instead of reflect, when I walk too fast and lose my center, remind me that peace is not gone. It is not lost. It is not fragile. It is just waiting for me to return, waiting with open arms, ready to flood back in the moment I slow down and say, Lord, I need you again. Thank you that peace is not earned. It is not a reward for being perfect. It is a gift bought by blood, delivered by grace, and sustained by your Spirit living in me. And because you never leave me, that peace never has to leave either. It travels with me. It rests over me. It speaks through me. It becomes a shelter I can live within every hour of the day. Let that be my confidence when insecurity tries to creep in. Let that be my shield when criticism stings. Let it be my inner sanctuary when expectations pile up like bricks. When my own thoughts threaten to imprison me, let peace dismantle every lie I have believed about needing to do more. Be more. Earn more to be worthy of rest. Your rest is already mine, and peace is the evidence of that rest. A soul at peace is a soul that knows it is safe. A heart at peace is a heart that knows it is loved. A mind at peace is one no longer fighting battles you have already won. So help me stop fighting what you have finished. Help me stop running when you have already called me to be still. Stillness is not inactivity, it is intention. It is choosing presence over performance. It is noticing rather than numbing. It is turning inward not in isolation, but in intimacy. Knowing you are there, waiting not for a perfect version of me, but for the real one, the one with questions, the one with cracks, the one who needs peace because life is hard and hearts are fragile, and sometimes everything just feels too loud. But your peace whispers through the noise. It gently disarms the panic. It does not demand I push harder, it invites me to lean softer. It does not accuse, it affirms. It does not rush, it waits. And in that waiting, I am restored. In that pause, I am renewed. In that silence, I hear again the unshakable truth that you are God, and you are here. So let my awareness of you grow today. Let my sensitivity to your peace sharpen like vision coming into focus. Let me recognize the moments when you speak, not always through fire or earthquakes or miracles, but through quiet, through stillness, through an unexplainable calm in the middle of a situation that should have undone me. Let peace become the legacy I leave. Let it be what my children inherit, not just through words, but through atmosphere. Let them remember not just what I taught, but how I lived. Let them recall a home where love was patient and rooms were full of grace. Let peace be what shapes our meals, our routines, our conflicts, our prayers. And not just in my home, Lord, in my work, too. In the spaces where pressure is high and patience runs thin, let peace be the culture I cultivate. Let it touch my meetings, my projects, my emails, my decisions. Let it interrupt tension before it grows, soften ambition before it overreaches, and redirect urgency before it burns me out. Let me be okay with not always being fast, not always being first. Let me be faithful instead, steady, present, rooted in something greater than outcomes. Let me stop glorifying exhaustion and start honoring balance. Let me walk through this day with the poise of someone who knows who they belong to and who trusts that everything good flows from rest, not rushing. Let peace make me brave in new ways, brave enough to slow down, brave enough to say no, brave enough to speak gently, brave enough to not defend myself, brave enough to stay soft in a world that rewards hard edges, brave enough to choose peace when anger feels easier, when noise feels safer, when fear feels familiar. Let peace keep teaching me, even when I think I have mastered stillness. Let there be more to learn. Let it keep transforming my insides, realigning my focus, tenderizing the places where I have grown guarded. Let it return me to who I really am underneath all the striving, just a soul deeply loved by its Creator, walking humbly with its God. And if that is all today becomes that I walk humbly with you, calmly, gently, in step with your spirit, then let that be enough. Let me release the weight of needing this day to impress anyone. Let me instead carry the quiet joy of knowing I have walked it with you. And if, by your grace, I walk through this day with nothing but an anchored soul, then I have walked well. For what does it profit me to finish my list? To achieve? To push? If I lose my peace in the process, what good is a busy life if it costs me the quiet of knowing you more deeply? Let this be the fruit of my every breath today, that I abided in you, that I chose the better portion, that I rested in the truth, that do not have to rush to prove my worth, because you already called me beloved. So often, I have mistaken motion for meaning. I have confused noise with importance. I have measured value in volume and speed. When you are gently showing me that eternal things grow slow, that roots deepen in the quiet, that healing happens not in the rush, but in the returning again and again to you, to the simplicity of peace, to the gentle voice that does not compete for attention, but waits for me to listen. Let me listen today. Really listen, not just with my ears, but with my spirit. Let me be present to the small sacred things: sunlight on the floor, laughter from the next room, the quiet hum of life continuing even when I am still. Let me not be so focused on what I must do that I forget the holy invitation to simply be. To be with you, to be in peace, to be unhurried, unshaken, unafraid, to be a living testimony that it is possible to remain calm in the chaos, not because I am strong, but because I am surrendered. Not because everything is under control, but because I know the one who holds all things together. And when emotions rise, when irritation knocks, or fear creeps in through the side door, remind me that I do not have to invite them in. I do not have to feed them, or give them room to grow. I can speak peace into the atmosphere. I can stand in the authority you have given me and declare that my heart is not a playground for anxiety. My mind is not a battleground for fear. My spirit is a sanctuary. And you, the Prince of Peace, are enthroned there. Let my prayers throughout this day be simple but real, not complicated or long, but full of connection. Let every help me be heard. Let every thank you be holy. Let every moment of silence be filled with presence, not pressure. Let even my sighs be sacred, for I believe you hear them all, and in your hearing there is healing. Teach me how to move slowly enough to sense when peace is leaking, when stress starts to build, when my pace is outrunning my soul. Help me stop sooner. Return faster. Breathe deeper. Listen more. React less. Give me the wisdom to turn a restless moment into a worshipful one, to turn the temptation to worry into a moment of whispering your name. And Father, give me grace for the hours when I forget, because I know I will. I know the world will swirl and my attention may slip, and I will be swept up again in the whirlwind of tasks and timelines. But let grace be the bridge that brings me back, not shame, not guilt, not the voice of condemnation. Let it be your mercy that welcomes me again into peace, again into rest, again into the arms that are never folded, always open. Let peace be the melody I hum when the day feels heavy. Let it be the cadence of my thoughts and the posture of my decisions. Let it be the tone in my voice, the rhythm of my relationships, the motive behind my actions. Let it come through in how I lead, how I listen, how I carry both joy and responsibility. Let me never forget that the world does not need more people who are frantic and forceful. It needs people who are calm and kind, rooted in love, resting in God, and in moments of decision where to go, what to say, how to respond. Let peace be my compass. If I feel pushed, show me whether it is pressure or prompting. If I feel pulled, show me whether it is your spirit or my fear. If I feel confused, show me whether it is a lack of clarity or just a call to pause. Let peace be the test. If there is no peace, I will wait. If your peace is present, I will move. And when I find myself alone, not in loneliness, but in solitude, let that be where peace deepens most. Let me not rush to fill the quiet. Let me not reach for distraction. Let me settle into your presence with gratitude. with expectancy, with the full awareness that I am never truly by myself, that even when I speak no words, you are still here, listening to the language of my heart. Remind me that I do not need to search for peace outside of you, that I do not have to chase it in things, people, accomplishments, or outcomes. Peace is not out there. It is already here because you are here, and you are not distant. You are not a silent observer. You are a present God, a loving Father, a gentle guide. And where you are, peace is not a possibility, it is a promise. So as I keep moving through this day, let that promise steady me. Let it ground me when emotions pull. Let it anchor me when I feel uncertain. Let it slow me when I am tempted to rush. Let it lift me when I grow weary. Let peace be the rhythm I return to again and again, not because the world slows down, but because I have learned to remain calm, even when it does not. Let this peace, not a performance, but a presence, be the most powerful thing about me. And if by the end of this day I have spoken less and listened more, if I have chosen stillness over reaction, if I have held space for peace where others expected pressure, then may that be my offering to you, not the accomplishments others see, but the quiet victories known only by you. The thoughts surrendered, the anxious breath stilled, the moment I paused to listen when my flesh wanted to rush ahead. Let those unseen moments become the altar upon which lay my trust. Let the slow and sacred become holy ground beneath my feet. Teach me to see differently, to see the beauty in pacing my soul rather than pushing through my schedule. Let my value not be tied to how much I produce today, but how deeply I dwell with you. And even when the world seems to spin faster than I can move, when everything demands my attention and the hours run short, let me live untouched by the frenzy. Let my spirit remain still. Let my responses be deliberate. Let my words carry grace. Let my eyes see people, really see them not as interruptions, but as divine appointments, each carrying their own silent storms. Let me carry peace into those encounters, like oil into wounds. Help me remember that peace is not silence, but sacred awareness. Not the absence of trouble, but the nearness of your hand. Let me be so anchored in your presence that I can navigate the storms without becoming one. That I can stand in the middle of uncertainty and still radiate the assurance that you are sovereign, that you are near, and that nothing is out of your reach. And Lord, teach me to pray not from panic, but from intimacy, not from desperation, but from devotion. Let my prayers today be less about fixing things and more about knowing you. Less about what I fear and more about who you are. Let peace reframe even the way I ask, the way I intercede, the way I wait. Because peace is not passive, it prays with boldness. It does not shrink in silence, it speaks with trust. It does not withdraw, it leans in. So let peace draw me closer, until I stop asking for clarity and start asking for communion. Until my greatest need is not answers, but awareness of you walking beside me in every room, whispering wisdom, pouring strength, steadying my heart. And when night comes again and I feel the weariness settle into my body, when I look back over the day and see all that I left undone, do not let regret take root. Let peace be what I carry to sleep. Let peace be the soft pillow for my soul. Let the unfinished be entrusted to your care. Let the questions I could not answer be placed gently in your hands. And if the day held sorrow, let peace be my comfort. If it held loss, let peace be my anchor. If it held laughter, let peace deepen the joy. If it held silence, let peace teach me how to listen. If it held chaos, let peace be my quiet defiance against the pressure to collapse. Peace is not what I wait for at the end of the battle, it is what I carry into it. So let me walk forward in that truth. Let it transform my posture, from clenched and braced to open and trusting. Let it change the way I see time, not as a race to conquer, but as a gift to live slowly, intentionally, and filled with grace. Let it change the way I approach people, not as problems to solve or tasks to complete, but as souls to meet, to hear, to love. Let peace tune my heart to listen without rushing to fix. Let it give me permission to simply be present, not perfect, not all-knowing, just present, fully there, fully aware. And let peace expand in me until it becomes the lens through which I interpret everything. Let it shape my theology, not just in how I understand you, but how I relate to you, not as a distant ruler demanding performance, but as a loving Father inviting me to rest, to abide, to be still and know. Let that knowing settle in my bones. Let it outlast my moods. Let it sit deeper than emotions and stronger than circumstances. Let peace be so embedded into my inner life that no external event can unravel it. Let it be rooted in the soil of your word, watered by worship and fed by daily return to you. Because I know this peace is not a concept, it is a person, and that person, Jesus, lives within me. So I need not search elsewhere. I need not chase what has already been given. I need only to yield, to breathe, to remember. You have already placed stillness within my grasp. You have already made the way for calmness to reign. You have already overcome every storm. So let me rest in that victory. Let me live as one who knows that peace is not fragile, not fleeting, not rare, it is ever available, always near, perfectly mine. And so I walk into the rest of this day, not as someone trying to hold it all together, but as someone already held, not as someone trying to earn serenity, but as someone already seated with the Prince of Peace. My soul rests not because life is light, but because you are my light in the middle of it all. Let that truth echo louder than fear. Let it rise higher than pressure. Let it go deeper than discouragement. Let peace lead, and I will follow, not with haste, but with hope, not with control, but with confidence in you. And as I continue walking through the minutes and hours that lie ahead, I ask you to keep teaching me the art of sacred slowness, not slowness born of hesitation or laziness, but slowness that reflects attentiveness, slowness that chooses awareness over assumption, presence over performance, the kind of deliberate pace that makes room for miracles in the mundane and holy encounters in the hallway. Let me notice what others miss in their rushing. Let me pause where others press forward. Let me see the gentle ways you move through a child's laughter, through the silence between words, through the warmth of sunlight touching a kitchen counter. Teach me not to wait for thunderous signs when you are always speaking in the whisper, and when my flesh wants to take over, to rush into conclusions, to protect what does not need guarding, to defend what does not need explaining. Quiet me. Remind me that I am not at the mercy of my impulses, that I do not have to be a prisoner of old reactions, that I am free to respond differently now. Peacefully, gently, from a place of wholeness, not woundedness. Let me speak peace into rooms, even before I open my mouth. Let it be the temperature I set, not just the one I adapt to. Let others feel it, without knowing why, that in my presence there is space to breathe, to feel safe, not because I carry some magic, but because I carry you, and where you dwell, peace overflows. And if I am misunderstood today, let me not rush to defend. Let me not panic at the loss of being right. Let me instead rest in the truth that I am fully known by you, and that is enough. Let my identity not be rooted in the agreement of others, but in the still voice that calls me chosen, seen, accepted, secure. Let peace cradle my heart when approval is withheld or expectations go unmet. Let peace be the deeper success I chase, not accolades, not applause, not an image others envy, but the quiet victory of a soul that stays soft in a hard world, a heart that refuses to become cynical, a mind that remains clear and undisturbed even when surrounded by confusion, a spirit that walks through fire and does not lose its fragrance. Let peace be my revolution. Let it be my rebellion against a culture of chaos. Let it be my bold choice to live unburdened even when burdens surround me. Let it be my radical protest against anxiety's grip. I will not be ruled by what demands my attention. I will be ruled by what anchors my heart, and that is you, Lord. Always you. Let peace be a quiet river that nourishes every dry place in me. Let it flow through old wounds that have long begged for healing. Let it reach into fears I have hidden, even from myself. Let it settle over the scars I carry from seasons that tried to break me. Let your presence speak into those spaces, not with noise, but with knowing, with nearness, with truth that sets me free. Even now, as I breathe in slowly, I receive it again, not because I lost it, but because I am learning to return more quickly. I do not need to stay lost in stress. I do not need to spiral. I can come back at any moment. I can reset with a whisper, with a sigh, with a pause that invites heaven to interrupt my heaviness. That is all it takes, turning my heart toward you again. Because you never left, you never moved. You are not watching from a distance, but walking beside me, whispering peace even in places that still feel like war zones. And when the enemy lies, saying I am alone, saying I have to handle it all, let me remember that even in battle, you prepare a table before me. Even when pressure rises, I dine in peace because you are with me. So I will eat slowly. I will live slowly. I will not gulp life down in survival mode, but savor it in faith. Savor it in trust that you are guiding every step, every decision, every delay, that even the interruptions are divinely timed, that even the closed doors are your mercy, that even the quiet seasons are rich with unseen growth. Let me live from that assurance. Let it change how I view today. Let it free me from constant urgency. Let it awaken me to the wonder of ordinary moments, soaked in divine presence. Let me hear the invitation in every breath. Come back to peace. And let me answer again and again, yes, Lord, I am here. Here in the stillness. Here in the not yet. Here in the trusting. Here in the releasing. I am not just passing through this day, I am walking with you in it. And that awareness is everything. That awareness is my peace. And if this is what true peace feels like, unforced, unearned, unafraid, then let me dwell here more often. Let this be not just a place I visit, but a rhythm I live. Let it be the new atmosphere of my inner world, where stress no longer has a seat at the table and fear no longer has a voice. Let it be the steady pulse beneath every moment, reminding me that I no longer need to carry what was never mine to hold. Because I have carried too much. Lord, I have worn anxiety like armor, mistaking worry for responsibility. I have worn awareness like a badge, believing that exhaustion proved my worth. But you never called me to live that way. You called me to abide, to rest, to come to you. Not when everything is fixed, but especially when everything feels fractured. And so here I am again, not performing, not pretending, just present, just surrendered, just real. And you meet me here again and again. You do not tire of my returning. You do not roll your eyes at my neediness. You do not rush me through the process. You welcome me with calm. You clothe me with kindness. You cover me with peace so deep that it silences every accusing voice that tries to tell me I am too late, too weak, too much, or not enough. In you, I am simply loved, and that is the most healing truth I could ever carry. Let this peace I feel now not stay hidden in my quiet time alone with you, but spill into everything I do. Let it be the undercurrent of my work. Let it be the framework of my conversations. Let it echo in the pauses between my words and the tone of my voice when I speak. Let it saturate every interaction with grace, with softness, with calm strength. Let others feel it, not because I try harder, but because I have surrendered deeper. And in the moments when I forget, because I will, when I fall back into the rhythm of rushing, when I grip too tightly again, or speak from fear instead of faith, help me not to spiral into shame. Help me to notice and return. Quickly, gently, freely. Let your peace be the bridge I cross, not the mountain I feel I must climb. Let it meet me in the cracks, not just in the breakthroughs, because real peace does not always come with fanfare. Sometimes, it arrives in the middle of a crowded room. Sometimes, it finds me in the middle of a sentence. Sometimes, it meets me in the quiet H I can T-name. It comes softly, and yet its presence changes everything. It does not demand the chaos cease, it simply refuses to bow to it. That is the kind of peace I want to carry today, the kind that is not threatened by bad news, is not shaken by delays, is not dimmed by silence, the kind that is rooted in resurrection hope, in a God who conquered death, not just so I could live, but so I could live free, free from the tyranny of tension, free from the weight of what-ifs, free from trying to control outcomes you have already written. So let me live like someone who believes that. Let me walk with holy unhurriedness. Let me laugh with ease. Let me pause without guilt. Let me breathe deeper because I am not holding everything together you are. Let me trust so deeply that peace becomes more than a reaction. It becomes who I am. And even if others around me can yet find that peace, if their hearts are racing, if their voices are sharp, if their wounds are open, do not let me absorb their anxiety. Let me remain rooted. Let me love them patiently without losing my center. Let me minister not through loud correction, but through quiet consistency, through presence, through peace that holds steady when everything else feels unstable. Let peace become my language. Let it be what I wake up speaking, what I whisper under my breath throughout the day, what I return to when I feel lost. Let it be the place I end each day, wrapped in stillness, breathing in your presence, unafraid of tomorrow, because I know you are already in it. And when I am tempted to borrow fear from the future, help me return to this moment, this holy, beautiful, quiet now. Let me not miss what you are doing here, in this breath, in this minute, in this heartbeat. Teach me to live inside of time again, not racing past it, not resenting it, but honoring it as a gift that reveals your glory 1 second at a time. Let me sit in wonder again. Let me be moved by small things. Let me stay childlike in spirit and gentle in response. Let me let go of the need to explain everything, solve everything, manage everything. Let me trust that peace does not mean I will never feel the weight, but that I will never carry it alone. You are here, and that changes how I carry myself. That changes how I think, how I speak, how I work, how I rest. You are here, and that is enough. You are here, and that is peace. Not the absence of pressure, but the presence of promise. Not the removal of trouble, but the assurance that you will never leave. And when you are near, I am not afraid. Let peace be the fruit of that assurance. Let it be what grows from my time with you. Let it shape me so deeply that when the world sees me, they see something different, not because I am extraordinary, but because I am deeply, quietly, wholly surrendered. Let my stillness speak of your strength. Let my gentleness reflect your authority. Let my calm spirit mirror the eternal steadiness of heaven. So let every moment today be an invitation to walk lighter, breathe deeper, and dwell more intentionally with you. Let my mind be uncluttered by the noise that constantly reaches for my attention. Let my thoughts no longer race to the next obligation, but rest in the presence of the one who governs time. Let me believe that slow is not lazy, that rest is not weakness, that peace is not passivity, it is alignment with the rhythms of heaven. If I must say no today, let me say it with confidence, not fear. If I must wait today, let me do so without striving. If I must be silent, Let it be filled with sacred expectancy, not insecurity, for peace allows me to operate not from urgency, but from discernment, not from pressure, but from presence. And your presence is what defines this day, not my circumstances, not my success, not my control. Let me trust that even in the delays, you are moving. Even in the quiet, you are speaking. Even in what feels like stillness, you are stirring something eternal in me. Let me release my grip on needing proof and instead lean into the unshakable truth that you are always faithful. Let peace rise in me not just when things go right, but especially when they do not, when things are uncertain, unresolved, or unexpected. Because this is the kind of peace that endures, not a fragile feeling that flees at the first sign of trouble, but a rooted knowing that you are who you say you are, that you are good even when I do not understand, that you are sovereign even when life is unpredictable, that you are for me even when the road ahead feels unclear. Let peace be what holds me steady through all of it. Let it be the whisper louder than worry, the weight stronger than fear, the light softer than shame. Let it guard me like a gatekeeper filtering what I allow into my heart. My thoughts, my responses. Let it protect the sacred space you have created in me, that nothing may enter unless it aligns with your truth. And when others around me stumble in their own storms, do not let me stand above them. I want to kneel beside them. I want to offer the kind of presence that does not rush to fix, but simply stays, that does not preach, but understands, that does not point fingers, but offers hands. Let the peace in me serve them not as a remedy, but as a reminder that calm is still possible, that God is still near. Make me brave enough to sit in someone else's pain without trying to silence it. Make me patient enough to let their questions breathe. Make me humble enough to be okay when I do not have the answers. Because peace does not demand perfection, it simply creates space for honesty. And honesty is the soil where healing begins. Let my peace make room for both joy and sorrow today, for laughter that is not forced and tears that are not hidden. Let it make space for rest that is not earned and silence that is not awkward. Let peace stretch out within me until it becomes a home, not just for me, but for others, until it becomes my natural language, my first instinct, my deepest identity. Let this peace become so familiar, so lived in, that chaos feels foreign, that anxiety feels out of place, that fear no longer feels like a friend. Let me be uncomfortable with unrest and deeply at home in your calm. Let your presence shape me until I no longer chase peace, I carry it. And if I forget, if I drift, if I find myself tangled again in the hurried pace of life, remind me gently, bring me back, not with rebuke, but with kindness, with the patient invitation you always extend. Come away with me. Lay it down again. You do not have to do this alone. Remind me that peace is always one breath, one prayer, one surrender away. Let peace flow even into the cracks of my routine. Let it breathe into my transitions, my commutes, my planning, my pauses. Let it inhabit the in-between moments, between one conversation and the next, between tasks and decisions. Let it live in the background of my day, like a steady heartbeat I do not have to think about, but depend on entirely. And even when I am tired, even when the hours feel long and my strength feels short, let peace hold me up. Let it cushion my fatigue. Let it remind me that I do not have to finish strong in my own strength. I just have to finish faithful. I just have to stay surrendered. I just have to stay near to you. Peace will meet me in my limits. It will meet me in my humanity. It will not shame me for what I could not do, but celebrate who I trusted through it all. It will not magnify my failures, but magnify your grace that sustains me anyway. Let that be enough for me, not perfection, but peace. Not performance, but presence. Let that peace reach even the places I did not know needed healing, the subconscious fears, the old wounds I have buried beneath business, the silent lies I believed so long they became familiar. Let your spirit move through me like gentle wind through dry fields, reviving what was dormant, restoring what was neglected, reawakening what had grown numb. Let peace have the final word in every space I enter, in my home, my work, my silence, my laughter, my waiting, my wondering. Let it echo behind me after I have left a room. Let it soften the atmosphere, smooth the rough edges, open hearts in quiet ways. Let it be my testimony without ever needing to be announced. And most of all, Lord, let peace become the fragrance of my soul, something that cannot be faked or forced, but only flows from a life daily surrendered, gently led, and fully alive in you. And as that fragrance lingers, Lord, let it draw others not to me, but to you, the true source of peace, the one whose presence restores what life has scattered. Let my peace not be mistaken for personality, or for ease of life, or for lack of struggle. Let it be unmistakable as something supernatural, something that could only be explained by your Spirit dwelling richly within me. Let it provoke curiosity in the restless. Let it awaken hunger in the weary. Let it gently challenge the frantic rhythms of a world that has forgotten how to rest. And while others run after more achievement, more acclaim, more affirmation, let me run after less noise, less clutter, less proving, less of me, so that there might be more of you. Let my peace be the loudest thing about me, not because I shout, but because I do not need to, because there is a stillness in my soul that no storm can shake, a softness in my words that no conflict can harden, a joy in my steps that no burden can extinguish. Let this peace teach me to live inside each moment, not beside it, ahead of it, or beneath the pressure of it, but right within it. Help me not to miss the grace of now while being consumed by next, not to miss the gift of breath because I am measuring the weight of time. Let peace stretch my capacity to see beauty in common places and feel wonder in ordinary hours. And when comparison tries to sneak in, when I begin to glance sideways and measure my life against others, let peace be the voice that turns my gaze back to you. Remind me that the pace you have set for me is sacred, that what looks slow to the world may be deliberate in your design, that obscurity is not insignificance, That peace is never in the crowd's opinion, but always in your quiet affirmation. Let peace become the lens through which I look at myself. No more judgment for where I think I should be. No more shame for not having arrived. Let me see growth where I once only saw gaps. Let me see grace in my pace. Let me measure my day not by productivity, but by the presence I carried, the peace I protected, the nearness I pursued with you. And when I feel like I have taken 2 steps back, when I feel like I have let peace slip again, do not let me spiral. Don't let me isolate. Let me return, quickly and humbly, like a child to her father. Let me remember that peace is not perfection, and rest is not reserved for the flawless. You are not grading me. You are guiding me. You are not evaluating me. You are embracing me. Even now, let me feel that embrace in the stillness of this space. Let it settle over me like morning mist, soft, subtle, undeniable. Let me rest in it, not needing to stir it up or maintain it with effort. Let me receive it freely, knowing it flows not from anything I have done, but from everything you are. You are peace. You are rest. You are the deep exhale of the soul I have spent years trying to calm by my own strength. Let this be the day I stop trying to outrun my lack and finally trust in your fullness. The day I let my weaknesses lean fully on your grace. The day I give up the illusion of control and find, in surrender, the security I have been craving all along. Let me release every grip I still have on outcomes, on timelines, on the image I want to maintain. Let it all fall so that peace can rise. And let that peace make me more human, not less, more compassionate, not harder, more open, not more guarded. Let it heal the places where stress made me sharp. Let it dissolve the walls I built in the name of strength. Let it reconnect me with my own heart, the one you designed for love, not for pressure, the one you shaped for gentleness, not constant endurance. May peace not only heal me, but make me a healing presence. Let me carry it into places where tension lives, into conversations that teeter on the edge of conflict, into relationships that have been strained by time and misunderstanding. Let peace be the courage I wear to initiate hard talks with humility. Let it be the softness I use to rebuild trust, brick by brick, word by word, moment by moment. Let peace be the ground where forgiveness grows, where I stop rehearsing old wounds and start releasing them, where I stop carrying the weight of what was done to me and start living lighter, not because it did not matter, but because I have chosen to let it go. Let peace be the new inheritance of every broken place. Let it be the fruit of every buried seed of grace. And in the places where peace has not reached, where tension still lingers, where healing still feels far, let me keep holding space. Let me not give up when the process is long. Let me not rush to the finish line of healing, but walk faithfully through every layer. Let peace be patient. Let peace be present. Let peace be persistent. Because peace is not a single moment, it is a movement, a way of walking, a decision made every hour to yield instead of control, to breathe instead of bristle, to trust instead of panic. It is the narrow road, the sacred rhythm, the steady beat beneath the noise, and I want to follow it, I want to live in step with that quiet cadence, even if the world thinks I am falling behind. Let me remember that slower is sacred when it is led by you. That waiting is worship when done with an open heart. That stillness is strength when anchored in your spirit. Let these truths not just pass through my mind, but sink deep into my spirit and become the place from which I live, speak, create, and love. Let me not need circumstances to calm for my heart to be calm. Let me not wait for the waves to cease before I believe I can walk on water. Let my peace not be tied to the absence of noise, but to the presence of you, the one who can rest in the boat while storms rage, the one who speaks and the wind obeys. Let me carry that same rest today. Not artificially, not performance-driven, not a mask but real rest. Soul rest. Peace that radiates not because life is perfect, but because my heart is finally aligned with the only one who is. And if this prayer has touched your heart, if even a line of it echoed something your soul has been longing to say, I invite you to pause and breathe just one deep, intentional breath of surrender. Let peace settle in. Let it begin to do its quiet, healing work in you. And if someone you know is walking through anxiety, pressure, or inner storms, do not keep this moment to yourself. Share this prayer. Let it be a gift, a gentle hand reaching out in their darkness, reminding them that they are not alone, that peace is still possible. Thank you for joining me in this sacred space. Thank you for opening your heart, for lingering in stillness, and for choosing to make time for the presence of God. May the peace we have prayed for not only remain with you, but flow through you, blessing every room you enter today. You are loved, you are held, and you are never far from the calming voice of your Father. Stay rooted. Stay gentle. Stay at peace.